Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Paula with Paula's Imperfect Plans. On my channel, I share my personal planning and budgeting journeys, and today it is a budgeting related video. So this is actually not a typical video. I'm doing like a little bit of a cash unstuffing because we've had a pretty expensive couple days, and so even though it's not at a typical point in time when I would do a check-in and come in and do this, I need to get it. Like, I need to get the envelopes, the money out of the envelopes. So going into, this is currently today, so that going into this week, I'm not looking in my envelopes and seeing an amount of cash that I don't actually have available to me. So let's get into it. So I did some things. I did some spending, and all of it was budgeted in the sense that I basically have to unstuff a bunch of cash for this. So the first two purchases, Etsy and Walgreens, I bought, and actually did this a little bit ago, but I bought a PDF off of Etsy for $5.35, half off. I think I showed a screenshot of it that had like PDFs of a whole bunch of different Grandparents' Day like artwork like this that you can then put like kids' handprints on, a whole bunch of different ones. Excuse me, this is the other one that I got. So there's a bunch of different ones. But I bought the PDF version of that, the downloadable for $5.35 on Etsy. So I'm gonna pop in here with my highlighter. I didn't actually get any of the highlighters out of the case, so excuse me while I dig through. Of course it'll be at the bottom. Okay, so this is the holidays color. That is technically holiday spending because it is Grandparents' Day. And then Walgreens, the $7.74 was, I don't have a color printer, so I paid to have these. This is for my mom and this is for my in-laws. My father-in-law is like super into golfing, and they just retired to a house where his backyard is essentially a golf course. So I bought these two. They're on like professional paper, and to save myself from driving to pick this up at a Walgreens, I had it shipped. So to have these two, and weirdly enough, when it came yesterday, I actually have 2 copies of each, and I don't believe that I ordered 2 copies of each, but happy accident, I guess. Gives us the opportunity to practice. To get the 2 papers printed on like heavy professional paper and shipped to my house, it was $7.74. So both of those are coming. They're holidays, and they're going to come out of the Grandparents' Day funds that I have. And then I have acrylic paint. So I'm like, I don't have to spend anything on that. I'm just going to put my kids' handprints. I'm going to do, their hands are supposed to be the fire on this one. So I've got 3 kids. Their hands are going to be the flames. And then this is supposed to be a flag of the flagpole of a golf course, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it with 3 hands, but we'll get that figured out. Gotta be creative, but I do have acrylic paint, so those are all the expenses that I need for Valentine's Day, or Grandparents' Day, so I'm going to pull those out of the Grandparents' Day binder envelope and probably roll it into the next holiday, which is Halloween, because I don't need anything else for Grandparents' Day. I haven't done anything for it for years, but really this is the kind of stuff I like to do, is just cute little cheap sentimental things from my kids. So the next one is Google Photos. I realized that I had not printed off pictures, and I know lots of people don't print off pictures, and everybody kind of does their own thing, but I do, or have regularly printed off pictures. And then each of my kids has a photo album, and I put the ones pertinent to them in their photo albums. And maybe someday they'll throw them all away, but I just know that I have a lot of photos now as an adult that are not organized because they just weren't organized with us growing up. So I'm counting that as a kid's expense, $13.26 to Google Photos, and I'm going to pull that back out of the kids' spending cash that I have in an envelope. So the next thing, this is also going to be holiday. I spent $3.20 on a downloadable invitation template for my son to make a birthday party invitation for him. So that was $3.20 that I spent on Etsy. And then I ordered his cake. We either do Walmart or Hy-Vee because those are the 2 like closest places to us that you can order a cake, like a custom one, and you can kind of pick designs and whatever. So I got that you know, pre-ordered online and paid for it to pick up the day before his party, which is coming up in sooner than I'd like it to be. So that was $26.71. That's going to come out of, it's a holiday category. Both of those are going to come out of my birthday envelope that I have saved for him. And then this Etsy one, I got a little emotional, and my kids are going to, we go back to school this day, and that will be the last, I won't have kids in daycare anymore, which is great if you're looking from a budget standpoint. I'm excited to not have a daycare bill. But I cannot tell you how much I love our childcare center and the staff there, and the thought of not being there anymore makes me teary-eyed. They have raised my kids 4 days a week for the last almost 7 years, and I love them dearly. And there's 2 of them in particular that we're particularly close to, and so I bought them a gift from Etsy. Each of them, it's a little like ceramic heart, and I think on the front it says either never forget the difference you make or something like that, and then their name and our names are going to be on the back, and then I'm going to write them a heartfelt card and probably make my husband drop it off on the last day so that I don't ball with him. But anyway, so that was $27.14, and I've kind of played around with that. I have $28 left in my spending money, my allowance. I didn't want to spend my allowance on it because it's not for me at all. But I'm not going to take it out of another category. That is something that I decided that I wanted to do. And so that's going to come out of my allowance. So you will see that $28 deposited back in from my spending category. That's where that will come from. Okay, so then today I have a cousin who is in town from North Dakota, and he and his wife have 4 little children. Our oldest are about the same age. And then I think my second daughter is in between their 2 and 3. And my youngest is in between their 3 and 4. And anyway, so we got together with them. We let the kids play at McDonald's, and we got lunch, talked, hung out, all the things, kids played. So that came out, we had exactly $45 left in spending money. And I think my husband did end up having to put $1 of his allowance in to pay for the McDonald's, because McDonald's has gotten just quite expensive, but it was budgeted. That was the last of our eating out cash, so that's gone. The reason all these are starred is because they need paid back to the bank. They were all put on a credit card, because generally when I spend money, it's on a credit, not a debit card, for the purpose of points, and then I pay it back with cash. So all those need to go into my bank account essentially to get put right on the credit card. That does not need to get paid back because that was just cash that we used out of the cash envelope. And this one I'm not even going to highlight because it's not coming out of my budget at all, but I did want to share it with you. So I think I have shared that my son has gotten really into, it's almost like he's obsessive with things. But anyway, he wanted a binder, and he's got some cash in here. Yeah, he's got, and then I just did the vinyl. So he's got candy. This is money he's saving. He's got stuff for toys, binders, and give. So he had $10 here in binders, and he wanted another cash binder, or another one of these binders. And I'm like, you don't need another one. Like, what is wrong with the one that you have? Like, you don't really actively use it. And he's like, Mom, I saved up $10. You told me I could get a binder for $10. So then I went on Amazon because he asked for an orange one. I found an orange one, but I also found like a set of like these envelopes with all the different colors. Well, it's not even in here, but like the rainbow colored envelopes. So he wanted both of those. So I ordered those for him. He paid for it. We did, he had $10 in binders, and then he had to pick $6 more out of toys. He sacrificed his toy money to go toward the binder. So I took that $16 and I put it in my, I already have it here in my bank envelope. along with, I did get my mileage and my out of area check today. So like that all needs to go to the bank, plus his $16. So I'm not going to highlight it, but I want it on in here, because if I ever look and go, you know, just like, why is there an extra $16? That's his money that he spent. I'm not even going to highlight it as kids, because he spent it. It is his money that he had saved up for a purchase that he wanted. And again, I put that on my credit card. It's linked to my Amazon. And so that will then get put on the card. And we actually had a few more things, but I'm going to wait and make sure we don't have any returns on these materials or anything. This came out of allowance money. Any returns or anything that changes in that. But we had a Menards purchase, an Ace Hardware purchase for supplies to pour concrete, and then today we paid a guy to deliver concrete to pour the footers for the addition that we're doing for our garage. So I will have to pull money this coming week, probably. Maybe I'll just do it on payday when I'm doing all my other transfers from the high yield savings from our project fund to cover those. But I'm not, I'm just gonna focus on the cash today, honestly. So I'm gonna bring out the cash tray here, and just make sure I have everything in here that I need to pull out. I will just start at the top of the list that I went through. So that is Grandparents' Day. So 6 plus 8. It's actually 1309, but so I won't start there because I don't have change for that right now. So let's go to out of birthday, but I only have 20s in there. So we're gonna have to start with my spending, which I'm really struggling with getting rid of, which is so silly, and I know I'm being ridiculous. Okay, so I have $28 left in spending. That will cover the Etsy purchase for the daycare teacher departure gifts. Okay, now I will go into the Grandparents' Day. I'm trying to reorder these in here in a way that makes sense, and it probably still doesn't make sense. Okay, so in Grandparents' Day, I need like $14. So I will put 10 and 15 back in here, and I will take the one back because it would have been 14. And then I'm going to steal that one, and I'm going to put this 10 because I've done everything I needed to fund for Grandparents' Day. I'm going to pop these 2 5s from Grandparents' Day into Halloween and kind of just roll it into the next holiday that I'll be saving for. And I'm going to set this one back here because I'm going to put that into the savings challenge thing that I have. Okay, so I need to check these off. Let's pick a nice red pen. So I paid back the Etsy one. I paid that and that. You cannot tell that. Okay. So then, out of the birthday envelope, we have $29.91 in total with the invitation and the cake. So I will put 40 in here and bring 10 back in, 30, so that leaves me with $50 in birthday. And honestly, I don't know what else I'm gonna get for him. Maybe nothing, I'm not sure yet. We were just talking, and when he have his birthday party, which is before his birthday, he gets presents and money from probably 6 or 7 separate gifts to open. I don't feel like he needs something from me also. I feel like there'll be plenty of years where I will be footing all the bills. Right now, if he enjoys, you know, if that's enough for him, then, you know, let it be enough, right? But we'll see what happens. Or see what he asks for as it gets closer. Okay, and then Google Photos was the other one. And I know technically that is an expense like that I use, that I do. But like it's something that I'm doing for my kids in the future. So $13.26 is $14. So I'm going to put 15 in here and take one back. So $6 will go back into kids for the rest of the week. I'm going to update my trackers really quickly to show, just to show all of this. So this is on Etsy, minus 28 brings me to 0. And eating out, minus 45 brings us down to 0. And then kids minus photo print down to 6. And then actually also spent some money. I actually took drink money and went and got ice cream, 20, 30, 42. So I spent $8 by the time I paid, got change and tip. So just to make sure I know why that is on there. And I think that is all the money that we spent so far. So to go back to, I'm just gonna do, so that would be 6 plus 8 plus 14 plus 30 plus 28. So I should have $86 here to go back to the bank. So let's see if that's what I have. 20, 40, 60, 75, 85, 6. $86. So that is fun when it goes into, oh my goodness. And then along with the 16 from his Amazon binder and envelope purchase, 20, 40, 60, 75, 80, 95, 102. To go back to the bank, along with, I was excited, I wasn't expecting my mileage check for about another week, but they put it right in there together with my out of area. So that's exciting that that'll be in there, whoops, right in time for when we need it, or just to, oh shit, just to get it where it needs to go. And then what do I have for change in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm gonna leave it yet. I just drive myself nuts. So I did have $1 that I was going to put in here. However, I have to gather up some other dollars. My kids are probably not going to be using their spending money this week, which is just kind of a long story. It's not really a long story, just one that I'm not going to share right now. And then I had $1 in the kit. Nope, that's over here. Actually, I'm going to put it all in here, all in this kid's sinking fund right now in case I have any chore money I need to hand out. Otherwise, I will put that in the savings challenge. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to save it for a minute just in case there's any chore money that I need to hand out. But otherwise, that will go into the savings challenge later this week. So I think that is all of our payback to the bank items, which has me feeling better because now the actual money that I have to spend is in the actual money that I have to spend is in the envelopes, and the money that needs to go back to the bank is put in a place to go back to the bank so that I'm not spending that somewhere where it is not or should not be spent from. So the envelopes are all up to date. So that, I believe, is all I have for today's video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Until next time, bye.